Welcome back to Eye on the Money, and today on the show we're discussing how to generate wealth, and with me on the show is none other than Sheila Mboga, financial literacy advocate and entrepreneurship consultant. Now, Sheila, before we took a break, you were really trying to explain to us the whole concept of wealth generation, what practices someone should put in place to make sure they're on the right path to attaining wealth, as well as between owning a business and, just being an employee, who stands a better chance at attaining wealth. Now, staying on the course of entrepreneurship, Sheila, my question is, for someone who has gone into business or who has set up a business, and obviously the end goal of this business is to help them attain wealth. They're just not trying to be rich. They're not just trying to, obviously it's to address a need, but they're also trying to make money at the end of the day and be wealthy. What does the thought process around that look like? Like, do you go into the business already knowing, setting up the business with the plans to make you wealthy? Or is it something you pick up along the way with, the way your product is being welcomed, scalability? I would like to hear your thoughts on that.
Thank you very much. When it comes to business, it depends on the performance and growth of the business. So when you get into business or when you start a business, how this business is performing and how it's growing can tell if you will be able to attain or generate wealth from it. Remember, when it comes to a business perspective, all wealth comes from adding value. So the question you need to ask yourself, does your business add value? And this value, you can, a business can generate wealth in two ways. Number one is through income. So there's a point where your business is able to break even and give you more income that is more than, it has sustained itself and you still have disposable income. So at such a point, you're going to use this income to invest and gain financial freedom to have time to do other things. Then another aspect is the value of the business. You can sell your business just the same way you can sell your house, the same way you can sell land. So the value of the business makes it to be an asset. So is your business valuable to be an asset? If not, then you need to keep on working towards it until it becomes so valuable to be considered an asset, so that you can say that this business is able to lead me into my wealthy place. So yeah.
And Sheila, still, when it comes to doing business, we see a lot of people when they set up businesses, they have money and then there's a business, maybe there's a gap in a certain area, or someone has gone into a certain business and is thriving, so they feel like they can also make money in that area. So basically what I'm trying to say is, not everyone who goes into a business that they're good at or something that they're passionate about. Someone could have some loose money that they want to invest somewhere, there's an opportunity, and they do that. So when it comes to attaining wealth, how important is skill set and expertise, if at all?
Thank you very much for that question. Skill set is very important because, the higher your skills are, the higher the chances of you earning more money. Remember, initially I said money is a tool or a vehicle that helps you attain financial freedom and time, alongside financial education. So if your skills are high, for example, as a business person, you are able to develop a niche, you are able to serve your customers right, and then you are able to increase your revenue, which you can now use to generate wealth. Then in terms of an employee, the higher your skill set is, the higher the chances of your promotion, the higher the chances of you earning more in terms of either a job offer or offering your skills. Then you end up having more money at your disposal that you can invest to make it grow and become wealthy. Mm-hmm. So skill set is very, very important in building wealth.
And Sheila, building wealth is one thing and keeping wealth is another thing. And that's something that this pandemic has shown us. I mean, we saw big companies that have existed for so many years. With 1 year of like crazy things happening, they let go of almost all their staff. They're struggling to keep their doors open. So yeah, generating wealth is one thing, but keeping that wealth is a whole other thing. We've seen family businesses that have existed over, time spans of, with one wrong move like this go under. So when it comes to attaining wealth, what would be your advice?
Thank you very much for that great question, Ingrid. As you said, attaining wealth is one thing and keeping it is another thing. I came up with some 5 or 4 tips that can help. The first one is diversify your finances in all areas of your life. Now, don't just focus on one thing. Diversify as much as possible. In finance, we always say diversification is the only free lunch. It's the only one that can help you in case the stock market is going down, real estate could be going up. So if you've invested in real estate and stock market, you'll not feel the pain or the losses. Then the second thing you need to do is always consider investing in new opportunities to make money work for you instead of working for money. In as much as the pandemic has come to us, there are opportunities that came up that were not there 2 years ago. Now, as a smart person, you need to consider such kind of opportunities and at least invest in them. Don't remain outdated just because you've been investing in a certain thing for 20 years. Mm-hmm. You need to also be open-minded and look for new opportunities that you can take advantage of at that time. And then the next thing is live on your income, not on the liquidation of your assets. Now, we've seen with this pandemic, there was this distress selling that was like rampant. Everyone was selling their assets to live on that. But if you are able to have an income without liquidating your assets, then you are able to keep your wealth. Remember, staying wealthy is more of keeping and growing, not just keeping and eating. It's growing it. So live within your income and ensure that you are not liquidating your assets unless you are at the end point, and have a strategy on how you can bounce back, and then take advantage of compound interest as much as possible. Compound interest is the next wonder or money wonder in the world. So as much as you can, you take advantages of where compound interest is applicable. And lastly, build on relationships. We cannot avoid our human capital. Remember, any opportunity that comes to you, it came through a person. So if you want to really stay wealthy, then you need to build on your relationship. I will wind up saying, if you work with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th one. Meaning, if you build yourself around a good relationship, they'll be able to let you know there's an opportunity here, or I did this and it did not work for me. So be careful when you're going on that road. As well as the better relationships you have, the more opportunities you have. Your network is your network. Thank you.
Sheila, I literally have nothing useful to add on to those amazing nuggets, except thank you very much for making the time to come and talk to us about how to generate wealth. I'm so sure our audience back there at home that was thinking about being rich is now a little more ambitious, and they're thinking about how to just make their money work for them and make them more wealthy as opposed to being rich. Thank you very much, Sheila. Unfortunately, that's all the time we had today on Eye on the Money. Thank you very much for being such an amazing sport and watching. Remember, you can be a part of the conversation by sending your feedback to our social media handles at Metropole TV KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Enjoy the rest of our programming.